So here we are with Sarah. She wanted to share her progress with the Qenda Ultimate Fibre. So yes, Sarah, do you want to just explain how long you've been taking it for now and why you started?
Yeah, I've been taking it about 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was introduced to it because I was just really struggling with energy. I'm struggling with energy, and I'm struggling with my gut and gut health. And it just feels like the gut's just not flowing. It's all sort of stagnant.
Yeah.
It just feels like it needs a good clean out. It needs.
Yeah, your intuition's telling you that it needs a bit of help, and obviously you know yourself how many times you go into the toilet, and if it's not enough and it doesn't equal the same amount of meals in, stuff does start building up in the body. And then when stuff builds up in the body, any sort of toxin it is, don't just build up in the colon, obviously. Then your liver can't cleanse, your kidneys can't cleanse, they're what cleanse your blood. So it's literally a whole body.
Yeah, I'm doing a detox, and it's really important that it's all flowing. So the reason why it feels like it's all sort of got stuck and stagnant is because of toxins. It feels like I've got so many toxins in my system. Stress. So stress has been a big part of it. And in stress, you just seem to sort of shut down, and then the toxins start affecting you more. I don't think you have resilience to clean them out, so they start building up. And then it's I've had dental issues, so I've had mercury in my mouth, and I know mercury creates a lot of toxins that go straight to the gut.
Yeah.
And I think they just sit in the gut because they can't go, because your whole body is sort of cycling mercury from the vapor. I think they just sit in your stomach and gut, and it's just all fermenting away. And then do we know what's happening? Parasites being created, funguses, candida. So it's all there in the gut.
Yeah, when the thing is, if you're having 3 meals a day and you're not going to the toilet 2 to 3 times a day, stuff's staying in there, and it's just like water. Water always needs to flow. If it just sits there, it goes stagnant, like what you said it. And then bacterial overgrowths, opportunistic bacterias, or heaven forbid, parasites. A lot of people have parasites and worms that they don't realize they've got it, and you can pick them up from anywhere, like walking barefoot outside, handling raw fish, raw meat, stroking pets and animals, and not having good hand hygiene, even unwashed fruit and vegetables you can pick up parasites and worms from. So and they say just the roundworm, the Ascaris worm, 1/6 of the population is infected with the roundworm. And then obviously if you've got slow bowels and stuff's not moving, they can lay up to 100,000 eggs a day. So
the thing is, it's all in your stomach, and you're not necessarily feeling it. It's sort of hidden away, and I don't know if it's hidden in pockets in your stomach, or sort of and you just have this sort of general feeling of just not feeling very well. Quite bloated.
Yeah, bloating. If you ever eat carbohydrates and you've got a bacterial overgrowth or a fungal overgrowth, then them carbohydrates obviously convert to sugar, and then they give off a gas as a byproduct. Sugar and overgrowth gives off a gas as a byproduct. So that's where the bloating comes from. It's just extra gas from soon as it hits them overgrowth. So you've been 5
worse. That was really gradually getting worse and worse.
Yeah, the bloating and stuff.
So the tolerance levels would just get. I was thinking I've got to do something. And I've tried some sort of herbal detox tablets before, and it was just they were too extreme, they were too harsh on the system. Yeah.
So then I guess we can come to the Qenda, because I think you mentioned before you was relying on medications to keep stuff moving, weren't you? Or laxatives or whatever.
Yeah. Herbal, but they were so strong you were literally going silly. You were going all diarrhea and rushing. It wasn't good.
No, I can imagine. And I've been at the other end of the spectrum where I had to have loads of Imodiums all the time just to keep myself normal. But that's where I think the Qenda is amazing, because with yourself saying like you need to have laxatives to help keep stuff moving and feel a bit better. The Qenda, it does have like sort of laxative properties, but then of the 30 herbs in there, 21 of them have anti-inflammatory properties. So although it does get stuff moving and push stuff along, that's like the cascara in there, that's a pusher. It also calms the body right down and gets it to like a relaxed state, like taking the inflammation away. And then you've got stuff that are actually healing the gut lining, because if you've got overgrowths in there, you end up with leaky gut. And I don't know if you heard of leaky gut, but
I've heard of it. And,
it's a lot of people have. If you've got overgrowth, you've got leaky gut, and if you've got leaky gut, stuff can get in your blood, inflamed intestines. You can get inflamed brain, and
toxins again. They're sort of swimming, and then they're going into your whole system, go up to your brain, aren't they? So you've got the brain fog.
Absolutely.
Whole cycle.
Yeah.
That would be a question about the Qenda, because is it a short-term thing, or is it something that's actually, it's almost like a reset that's going to sort of soothe everything down, and then
absolutely, it's cleansing and healing at the same time. Like obviously, like healing wise, you've got herbs in there like licorice root, marshmallow, slippery elm. They're like the 3 best herbs for healing and sealing the gut lining. You've got like bitter herbs in there like dandelion root and a few of the others that are bitter. And what bitter herbs do? They cleanse the liver, cleanse the kidneys, therefore cleanse the blood. And so it's just sort of working on all the levels of the body. But you're cleansing and healing, and let alone the the herbs that take away the overgrowths, like the wormwood, the black walnut hulls, and there's it's passing my mind what for the bacterial overgrowths and stuff. Oregano's in there for like the bacterial and fungal overgrowths. So it's all working, and the fact that you've got your psyllium husk in there, which helps bulk everything together. So is your like if you've got mercury in your system or whatever, or as you're cleansing out, and then the bulk of the fibre is actually picking up all the toxins. Because I think we mentioned it on the phone. It's there's no point actually cleansing your body unless you've got the fibre to absorb it and carry it out. Because some people, they can detox and actually end up worse, because where your body's been storing it, say in the cellulite to protect your organs, then you you cleanse it out and it goes into your intestines, gets reabsorbed through the intestines, goes into the blood. Next thing, you got mercury in your brain, and the people get mad hatters, and they can literally really damage their brain from not cleansing properly. And that's where I love the Qenda, because it's you put some powder in some water, drink it, and it's just working on so many levels. And to answer your question, it you do it as like a 3-month cleanse minimum, which is like 6 tubs. Or if you got like chronic autoimmune conditions or inflammation or chronic toxicities, people benefit more from 7 tubs, which will be a 4-month cleanse. Because I said, you're just cleansing and healing. So if you've got more toxicities, you just got to cleanse for a little bit longer, really, just to ensure that they're out, whilst maintaining, like, say, if we're talking about parasites, if you think you might have them, or you'll soon know if you have them, because you'll see them coming out in your stools in the toilet. The Qenda is good at pulling stuff out, and the whole point is you get on the, I know you're just on the morning serving at the moment, but
I've sort of gone in slowly, just because I'm learning about it, and a question's coming into my mind, that sort of like, how can you measure like before and after? Is there any sort of tests you could do on yourself, or tests that you could have done to just the status of any of these things going on in your guts, like
absolutely, like some of the tests that come to mind that I know clients and customers have done before is just standard blood work that they do when they do like the full blood count, the FBC that they call it, where you've got inflammatory markers, you've got your white blood cells, red blood cells, your iron levels. That's quite a big one. If people have got overgrowth, they tend to have a lot lower iron and B12. And then if, like, say, if someone's got low iron, if they do two scoops twice a day for 2 weeks, their iron levels will near enough normalize in
Wow.
95% of cases. It's and that's because you're getting rid of the overgrowth that's eating the iron, and then also because the Qenda has over 50% of your daily recommended serving of iron. So iron's one that you see really change, and obviously inflammatory markers like in the liver is a standard one that people get a lot on their blood counts.
It's the liver that's really trying to do the work of this detox, isn't it? And it's the liver that's like so burdened, and then you get the headaches. I've had the headaches and
absolutely, because the liver's cleansing the blood's all over in the body, but then the way the liver cleanses it through the biliary duct and into the small intestine and out of the small intestine into the colon, into the toilet. If your colon's not working properly, your body's just not detoxing properly, and that's a trait of people that have high toxins as well. That can have bad breath, bad body odor, and bad breath and bad body odor, basically, because we've all got like 4 elimination pathways: a breath, a sweat, a urine, and a feces. So if it's not coming out in a urine and a feces, it'd be coming out in a breath and a sweat. I know when I had a lot of parasites and overgrowths in my body, my breath really smelt all the time, even though I brushed my teeth. And then and then like my BO was really bad as well. But like it was just like no matter how much deodorant or antiperspirant I put on, like it just because my body was trying to detoxify itself any way it could, and I was like, for God's sake, what's going on? But it was just toxins have got to come out somewhere, and if you've got so much or like people with candida, they can get a white tongue, or people can have like skin rashes because obviously stuff comes out in your skin. But blood work, iron, inflammatory markers, obviously B12 and red blood cells and white blood cells, that sort of shows if you've got inflammation going on, if you've got like infections going on. So that's a nice standard easy one that you can get your doctor to do. I think that's I think blood inflammatory markers is a very interesting one there. I've got a few videos that I've done. Sorry.
Yeah, I might look into that then, see if I can get that done. I mean, these things take time, but it would be a good one to do. But I suppose you're going to feel the evidence by taking it yourself and feeling different, feeling better.
Absolutely, the brain fog will start to go away. You'll start to feel like you've got more energy. And then also another good thing about the Qenda is you put in the diversity into your diet, because I know it's hard to get all organic foods and get a diverse range of vegetables into your diet, and that's what actually builds up your microbiome, having the diversity. Diverse foods equals diverse bacteria in the gut, and like people, I know it is a bit of a struggle to get all good healtly food, so it's like you can just have the Qenda.
With the Qenda alongside it, I think, is it so that you take like in a month's time you can start adding the fermented
probiotics.
So
no, that's a very good point. Like if you've got any sort of overgrowths, although the marketing of the probiotic companies and stuff says yes, good bacteria will overcome the bad bacteria. It can in maybe in a test tube, but in the actual real body environment, adding bacteria on top of bacteria is just like a washing machine, and it don't feel great. And so
it never felt good. I've never got on that well with that one.
No, and that's why Qenda first, lower the levels of bacterial overgrowths, then introduce the good bacteria, and that's when they work in harmony with the body then. So and that is like we say at the 1 month mark, but that's following the protocol. So ideally at the week 2 you want to be going on to the 2 scoops twice a day. And then for a period of time, whether it's 2 weeks up to 6 weeks or whatever, and that's just until you stop seeing stuff coming out in your bowels, out in your bowel movements.
When you say stop seeing stuff, you meant to look for stuff, or?
That's if you are looking. But the good way of seeing how healthy you are is look how healthy your stools are, because what's coming out of your body is how your body's dealing with stuff, really. So looking at your own stool is a very good indication of your health. Like you can get the Bristol stool chart, but the Qenda actually pulls stuff out of your body, and the people see all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff in the toilet, and it sounds a bit crazy. I know it's a bit of a taboo subject to talk about poo or whatever, but it's a natural process, and it's better it been out than in, and
it really is.
So that would be another indicator of health. So when and that's sort of the protocol really, when you have your 2 scoops twice a day, and then when you get back to a nice 2 to 3 healthy, solid formed, moist, like smooth stools, then you can go back just to your morning serving, and then just see that out for another 2 months or 3 months or whatever, and that's the best way of doing it. But hopefully that helps.
Really big assistance at this time when I'm doing all this dental work, and things might have blocked up if I wasn't using this product. This is just brilliant.
It's an easy thing to add into your routine, isn't it? You just gotta really shake it up, drink it. I understand it's not the tastiest, but
it's a bit like bog water, isn't it? But it's very quick. Just drink it down.
15 seconds of a bad taste or whatever, and then let it do its magic in the body. It's well worth it, and
then sort of like eat. You have to sort of self-responsible and eat really well as well. It's like you can't start eating junk. It wouldn't go with eating unhealthy diet, would it?
No, well, you can, like, I've had people that haven't changed their diet at all, and like with ulcerative colitis and stuff, and their problem has just been an overgrowth of toxicities. But you know what diet's good for you, and like even me, for example, I've got myself better. I can eat rubbish food for a while, and then you get in a bit of a habit of eating sugar every single day, and like more than once a day, and then my body has a way of just saying, oh no, can't, like let's rein it back in a bit, because you start feeling worse. Notice it in my bowel movements, they change, my tummy feels a bit more unsettled, and that's so like you don't have to totally change your diet, and you don't have to be super strict with yourself, because it's still going to work, but being mindful eating's
it sort of goes hand with that mindful eating, so it's helpful.
Absolutely, and you find that or what I've seen with a lot of people is, because they're starting to feel better and they're putting good stuff in their body, they sort of naturally go on to a healthier diet, and they stop craving as much sugar, because in a lot of cases it's them overgrowths that make you crave the sugar, like they give you the food cravings, and
it's the candida and all the metals and everything. It's all
absolutely. So I guess we've been on for like 18 minutes or so now, so I guess I think that's good for the first one, and then if you ever want to do one again in like a few weeks or something.
I'm going to start going for 2 scoops a day from now on.
Awesome. All right, great, thank you. I'll stop recording.
Thank you.